All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hopefully, you were patiently waiting by, getting ready for this game number 2 because, well, that was a quick one. That was a quick game number 1, so not much patience needed, I guess. As about a 20-minute victory for Hard to Communicate, as they looked good. You know, you mentioned maybe a little bit outdraft, there was outplay, but you know what? It was game 1 of a best-of-5 series, so almost like if you're a new generation, forget it happened. Let's move on. Game number 2. We'll see what happens. I'm Breaky CBK, joined by What You Got once again. And the bands have completed. The pick's about to begin. Engineer still on the board, I'm noticing.
Yeah, he is. That'd be a pretty good first pick option, but they go with Lord Self-Forest instead. And why not? It worked for them last game. Let's try it again.
It definitely worked for them last game. But you made a really good point. It's one of those... obviously, yeah, you've been playing HoN for a very long time. It's one of those, like... you really have been playing a lot. What is wrong with you, man? No.
Things.
No, but when a kill like that happens, it's a 2 versus 1. They went for the gank on South Forest. You mentioned he got a little too much farm, though. He had that shield of the 5, and they underestimated how much tankiness he really had. So he turns on Panda, and it's like a moment like that could just really set the tone of a game. So yes, these teams overall just maybe evenly matched, but it's stuff like that happens that it makes it seem like it was a complete stomp and outmatched in that one game there. But yeah, so. I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments to that Lord South Forest here in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. They definitely don't want that hero like skyrocketing early game because definitely scales really well and he becomes hard to deal with. So I hope they have something up their sleeve here to pick. I mean, they see it once again as the first pick, I believe, was the same as last game. So, you know, you have 5 picks to try to address the Self-Forest specifically. And they're going to go with Kraken and Monarch, which I would say that's a pretty solid opener. Very solid support option, as well as Kraken being a flexible laning hero. He can go to any lane. Typically likes to play position 3 or 2. Can play both very well. I wouldn't really say like they should do this or should do that. I think it's just going to come down to like what else they want to pick around the Kraken. I would say he's fairly reliable on position 3. Just stick him in a side lane and let him either go into the blender lane or get him a 1v1 lane where he can do well and get an early blink, and he'll do a lot for them. And then the Monarch, of course, top tier support hero, very good as well. Can go to any lane, support any team composition. And they also pick up like an Engineer Magnus now on the other side. The Monarch ultimate is really good for disrupting combos like that. Just removing at least like 1 or 2 of the stuns. So if Magnus goes in, stuns like 2 to 3 or more, Monarch can be ready to remove that stun.
Yeah, Magnus is another one of those heroes mentioned Soul Reaper last game, and Magnus certainly one of those heroes that got a lot of changes in that patch that took place. Kraken's even another one, though. It's so I am very intrigued to see how he plays here. As you're getting at, maybe going to see that position 3 Kraken. But yeah, NG Magnus, that is a combo that we've seen plenty throughout history.
Have you played or like seen Kraken like a lot since he got?
No. Magnus, yes, I played him multiple times. Seen him obviously play, but yeah, Kraken, no. So yeah, is he like better?
I want you to pay attention. Like if we get to mid and late game, how like massively large the Kraken multi is, because it got one of its buffs, aside from some others to like splash and tsunami charge, was the radius of the level 2 and 3 ultimate got bigger. It also got, I think, some like numbers changes. I don't want to go like too much into detail about the Kraken, but the big one for me is like the radius of the Kraken ulti. It's very noticeable, like when you're in the midst of a team fight in mid game. It's very large in my opinion. So,
all right, for the big Kraken ultimates,
yeah,
in this mid game. If we get to that point, last game, I kind of get past that early game phase, so. Obviously, a new generation is certainly hoping for that this time around. They go Swiftblade, Demented Shaman as 2 heroes for the 3rd and 4th pick. A good carry support combo there. Also, Swiftblade does feel really good against, I guess, really all 3 heroes even. on the Legion side right now. That spin is going to provide plenty of value in a game like this. So Swiftblade does seem like just a solid core.
Swiftblade in general is like a pretty interesting hero right now. I will say, like, the times that I've seen or even played him myself, he at times can feel underwhelming. But what he's good at doing is, like you said, he's good at fighting into these like aggression lanes. If they want to run the NG Magnus as a pressuring off lane, the Swiftblade can be good if he's able to dodge spells. And I say if because when you go up against a Magnus with an instant stun, it's very difficult sometimes to like telegraph that. And even though the Swiftblade has the Blade Frenzy, the Magnus and NG can still catch him and do a lot of damage. And then NG also has the turret, which is really important in that matchup, that he can push the Swiftblade through the spin. So on paper, you would think the Swiftblade's really good, but in reality, when you actually play this lane, sometimes it doesn't always feel that great to be the Swiftblade. Now, the good news for them is that they have 2 defensive supports. So with both a Shaman and a Monarch, that will make his life a lot easier if they end up laning that way.
Huh. Doomy making a point that he really wanted that Puppet Master again, so they oblige and pick it up and sort of swap things around as the Rally final pick also comes out. So there's our 5 hero lineup on the side of Hard to Communicate. And now we got New Generation trying to figure out how they want to finish. So probably a mid hero, you would suspect at this point.
Go with Alonia. You called it.
Easy. Alonia.
So that's like Kraken position 3, which is, I think, what is going to probably be their best option here. I'm wondering if they're going to try lane long, or if they want to just run like 2-1-2 somehow. But both Kraken and Alonia are heroes you, I think, more or less want to solo lane. So they would have to dual lane one of those. And I guess if you had to pick one, you'd probably dual lane the Kraken, so the Alonia can kind of take off and go into the jungle, because she's the only hero right now in their team that's like really, really efficient at doing early jungle stacks. So give her the solo XP, in my opinion, would be the best choice. Kraken is going long lane, and this was actually their mid player from last game, so they're swapping some roles up a bit. That's always fun to see as well, when the players aren't necessarily like role locked in their teams. But Legion wants to send 4 to top lane for now. I don't know if this is just like a bloodlust attempt, perhaps, and then Puppet Master actually going very deep here with Rally.
I mean, it seems like a bloodlust attempt for sure, right? It's just a matter of will they find the option. If Dimension Shaman gets a little curious. Monarch, maybe? Ooh, off to the right, kind of split up.
They
saw something.
There's a ward on this pillar from both sides, and the one placed from I think it's Hellborn here, if I'm clicking correctly, was placed earlier. So that would mean they spotted the Legion's ward. And Rally will now start moving to mid lane.
Yeah, it definitely was spotted placed earlier. So yeah, that's a good heads up there from the Hellborn side. Managed to get out there first and.
Is Magnus trying to ward this easy cap as well? The way he was like positioning himself in the cliff, it was like he was trying to direct path. I don't know if I saw that correctly or not, but they have one more ward on them, and he's under vision again. So if he places this ward to try to block this camp, they would actually end up seeing both of the wards being placed, which would be very unfortunate.
He's just going to be the ward, right? For 30 seconds at least.
Yeah, perhaps he's just going to body block it himself.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll just block it here, and then I'm sure he'll move on, keep the ward for now. But yeah, that would be unfortunate if they see him place and then they just counter ward it immediately. Either way, there you go, blocks it, and he's got the boot. So we do have a good old try versus try lane once again. This is going to be at the top side, and immediately Swiftblade. He's gonna have to get that spin off eventually. That is a death damage. I mean, it's just the spin is great against, in theory, against all this crowd control, but as you're talking, it's like, if you can't use it, then it doesn't actually matter, and that's basically what happened right there.
Yeah, I would say this is oversight by the Hellborn side. At least one of the 2 supports should have held the skill point to spec into a defensive spell, especially like you wait and see like who gets the initiation off. And It could have been either one, to be honest. I think probably Shaman would have been better to have Healing Wave there. Because the Magnus stunned into the creep wave as well. Like, they could have returned a lot of damage. The Monarch could set up with the Q, but I think it was like an oversight to like insta-skill your primary abilities on the two supports. Because they definitely could have turned that with the other spells. Even if they had like level 1 Chrysalis, that would have been completely fine. Because at that point, the Legion overextended.
I'm definitely taking notes right here as to the lesson.
Don't auto-skill your hero, Breaky. Always wait to see the situation you're put into. It's very important. Mid lane, Alonia forced to use Apple, almost died there.
That was very close. I thought for sure he's dead, but the Apple is mentioned, coming out just in time, saving the day. But now the Striders, Magnus, Striders and Wind Whistle, by the way. This is a fast Magnus. He's zoom, but Alonia able to keep her distance, and unless she gets a little too impatient here, Jonas maybe should be fine. Magnus, not going to waste too much time sticking around or decided what to do. Top lane,
well he's not top. This is the one drawback to roaming and trying to set up an early kill on mid is that he's not actually laning in the tri lane. And so, aside from talking about the mistake that I think that the Hellborn team did, I wanted to say that I actually think their tri lane is stronger. Mostly because the Swiftblade is a really good counter to the Puppet Master. If he's able to just run in with spin, there's literally nothing the Puppet can do. He relies on his spells being clickable and targetable through being magic type, so if he's spinning, he cannot cast those. And not only that, but you'd never want to be a Puppet with a Swiftblade on top of you spinning. So if they're able to position correctly and get the initiation, really good two-man stun from the Magnus, by the way, so that's going to be a kill for the Legion side Monarch here.
But Swiftblade unable to get the return kill on Engineer. That's where you got to be a little careful if Swiftblade's able to get that spin-off as mentioned, but good job killing the Monarch and getting out. That is interesting to me, though, because honestly, as a more, frankly, a noob,
you remember in the old days, Breaky, we would always see Puppets versus Swiftblades, and the Swiftblades were always stronger than the Puppets in lane. Yeah.
This combo, though, that's a lot of locked in uphill attack, so never your friend. Swiftblade's running in.
This should be a kill on the engine. He has boots, and he knows that.
Right. And should be able to safely get out.
But you saw there the level 2 Blade Frenzy. Didn't the damage feel kind of underwhelming? Like how long it took him to kill the low life engineer?
Yeah, it did.
You remember how strong that used to be a long time ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Swiftblade, this is what I meant when he was picked in the draft. The Swiftblade kind of feels a little underwhelming as a hero nowadays, but he's still really good at doing what he does, which is once he gets on top of his targets, he should be able to at least kill one person.
I'm surprised I didn't commit to the Monarch kill, but it makes a little more sense. Magnus didn't have enough mana for a stun, so it's not worth really chasing for no reason. Rally, slam-a-jamma on a Kraken.
Yep, he slammed the floor.
Got pissed off. The seismic slam. Showing his anger and gets the kill on Kraken. So that's a missed the rotation initially, but it looks like simply went in there. South Forest got some damage off initially and free kill, and that means South Forest is having a great time. But Rally's the one having a very good time, especially with that kill. 500 GPM already.
Initiation on the Monarch from Magnus. Now Puppet's in a really aggro position, but he does a good job of eating the trees. I think it won't be enough though.
Yeah, rotation.
There is the power of Swiftblade. Gets on top of Puppet. Not much he can do. Now, granted, that was a positioning and numbers issue, but still, the principles are there.
It's a level 3 spin now, so the damage is enough.
Yeah, and this is where the Swiftblade's scary. Level 5 with Ghost Marchers, level 3 spin, Puppet's level 3 with Red Boots. In theory, there should be no way Puppet can stay in this lane and lane. If I was Legion in this position, I am rotating my Puppet Master out of top immediately. There is no way to keep him up in this lane. As long as the two supports from Hellborn come back up here, they should continuously just pressure this Puppet and make him unable to farm.
Definitely safe to say this game's going much better for New Generation. It's approaching only 6 minutes, so very early on, of course. But again, last game, hard to communicate, really just dominated from the beginning, didn't stop in pre-20-minute victory. So, but Rally, following one, he's still working off of that momentum, and he's trying to figure out where he wants to go next. He's heading towards top lane. If he finds maybe the Demented Shaman, he is, and he's going to say, wait a second.
I don't know if he can actually kill him, though. He has cape. I mean, he has to proc the cape.
Oh, no.
It doesn't even proc there, so he's fine.
Yeah, you're right. That's actually the one hero
It's the wrong support to run into, because even if he stun ultis, he'll just get healed back up.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because I would have definitely Seismic Slam right there, and then been like, wait a second. God damn it, I thought it killed him! Stupid Shaman. But yeah, he's slightly better than me, so had the heads up right there.
So flashes. Boom.
Easy kill. All right, this trial lane, hey, you're right to call. I mean, it's definitely starting to feel a lot better as the levels have added up here for a new generation.
I will say, Breaky, like in general, tri-laning is very difficult. When you have 3 players in the same lane trying to coordinate all your like abilities and do everything correctly, it's something even like players struggle at the high level. I know a lot of teams like really shy away from tri-laning because, you know, if you're not coordinated like extremely well and you mess up a tri-lane like really early, it can actually like really affect the entire game if like you lose it too early.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've seen that many times. So you always run that risk when you run a tri-lane of like make 1 or 2 crucial mistakes and then the whole game can just spiral out of control. So it's definitely not. I just want to stress, like, it's definitely not easy to run tri-lanes.
Well, bit of a 2 versus 2 right now that Swiftblade is going to try to take advantage of, and they do. Engineer got caught initially by the Monarch, and that's a free setup kill.
Self-Forest in the bot lane, so he was 0-1. I was paying attention to the like GPMs and creep farms of both players. They're almost identical, and even when Kraken was 0-1 and the South was 0-0-0, the GPM was like a 25 difference. Now it's about 70 difference with the kill. Still not too big of a gap, but Kraken's actually doing really well being in the long lane in that 1v1. Lonia, boom, dead. Slam the floor there again.
Gets deleted. Yeah, I think it's safe to say Fallen 1 has won this matchup mid pretty decisively. Alonia's not having a good time. 180 gold per minute, has 3 deaths already. It's one of those cases you got to go somewhere else. You got to recover some way somehow as the mid hero. So we'll see what he does after this death, especially. But yeah, how about that Kraken though? That's solid to see. Now, as I say this, he's taking some good damage right here, but he's gonna be fine. He's got steam boots though and an iron shield, so we'll see what he builds.
So the good news is, even though the Alonia is having a bad time, they won top so handedly that they forced the puppet out of top. I did say that this had to happen, so it's good that Legion recognized this as well. But now with the puppet leaving top, they can reallocate their supports around the map. As I cannot finish my statement here. We got Self-Forest dying in the tower. He's trying to get a counter kill on the Kraken. It's gonna be fine though. Monarch should be using the Chrysalis. Yeah. I don't know why he was waiting so long. Because it will actually prevent some of the damage, even though it does not like remove the buff or anything, debuff.
Yeah.
But so back to my point is that with the supports now being able to freely move around the map, that means they can stack the jungle and stick Alonia in there, which is what she needs to do, and she already started doing that. So that is good presence of mind from Elborn to start doing that.
Yeah. But speaking of presence of mind, look at Rowley. He's heading up here with a smoke. If he finds Alonia especially, that would really just feel unfortunate for him. But Swiftblade, oh man, just out of range of exposing an Alonia. Jonas, I'm feeling for you. No.
Oh no, he actually like ran back on the Alonia. Like that was, I wouldn't even say that was like bad from Rowley, just unfortunate.
That's one of those. It's like you get pissed off. You're like, why didn't you do what I thought you were going to do?
He just stutter stepped like at the perfect time. It just happens. I don't know how else to say it. Sometimes that just happens.
Spider senses tingling perhaps for Jonas, but either way, he avoids a certain death right there on Rally. That's big. I mean, I won't say fall one though. He's been all over the map. I mean, he immediately teleports bottom. He wants to set up this kill on Kraken now. He's got a seismic slam. He wants to use it badly. But Kraken, Silence doing a good job of realizing he's missing. Not going to expose himself too much here. Oh, they may go overkill themselves. Demented.
Kraken's invis, yeah. He's trying to line up the charge. Oh, he's just going to go... Okay, not how I thought he was going to do it. Still going to work, though. They had enough damage.
Got a little impatient there, but it does work out in the end, so that's what matters. Yeah, that was a close call. But well played.
And this looks like a different game number 2, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
The tides have swung back for the new generation team now. And although Rally had like such a good start, 4-0, he was 500 GPM, he's kind of forced to try to make some space for his team because the Puppet needs space to recover and the South is now 0-3. He actually lost 125 GPM with all that map movement he did in the last like 2 minutes.
True.
And now he'll go back to mid lane to try to once again like focus back on his game. Probably wants to either go for something like a Blink or a Staff. I would imagine the Blink probably in this game because his role is going to be more of like initiate and make space. But we'll see what Fallen One decides to do here.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Looking at that GPM certainly dropping, and it's like, yeah, it's definitely not to the fault. It's just understandably, he wants to make kills happen. He certainly can. It's just they've done a good job on New Generation side though, avoiding it for these last 2 or 3 minutes, and thus his farm has fallen off. But yeah, making up farm in the mid lane as mentioned. Kraken, another 1,000 gold saved up on him. How is that Swiftblade doing though? We got a sustainer, so it's like the rune cleaver is coming.
Mm-hmm. I think it's good he's going for cleaver this game. We do see a lot of Swiftblades nowadays go for like Energizer Mach route in whatever order, but the point is they go for the Mach instead of the cleaver, and I don't really think that this is necessarily a Mach game. Because there's only really going to be maybe like 2 portal keys at max that the Muck is... Oh, he gets a kill there. He actually spun over the mines too. That was very close to almost wearing off.
Wow.
And he could have maybe died. Those are level 3 mines, so that would definitely kill him. But yeah, I don't think this is a Muck game personally. The evasion you get from Muck is always nice, but I don't think like going up against Puppet and South, he's gonna necessarily care about evasion in this game.
That was a little funny right there.
That's for the spin TP, yeah. Rally
one
compelled himself out or teammate?
Well, yeah, he like went to Seismic Slam. I think he thought like they might have been running down to him downhill, but then he got stunned as he was in Seismic Slam animation, so it was a little funky there. But then, yeah, he compelled away, and it allowed for the easy TP out. But either way, Swiftblade gets out after finishing that ring cleaver, as you're talking about. So decides to ultimately go for a Monarch, though left behind.
Monarch.
And a certain death there.
He gets his crippling pollen off, though. That might be enough to get them a kill on South. Actually, they're going to turn their attention. Ooh. Who are they going for? Magnus, maybe? He's got stun up in 1 second, though. I don't think they're going to be able to catch him.
What do they have? Yeah,
they have entangle on him for what, a few seconds, 7 seconds. It's only level 1 though, so it's the stun is like very minimal at this point. Yeah, I think they're not going to actually be able to catch anyone here. Could be wrong, but I foresee Magnus and NG being able to just walk away.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's almost just, not worth it.
Prior to this dive on the Monarch, which was really good, they got the kill and then they forced a lot of rotations from Hellborn. The Kraken was down in the bot lane with a free like tower push, and he's cutting the wave now. And I don't know if they have anybody ready to defend this. The Puppet has TP on cooldown. The NG doesn't have one, couldn't really defend that anyways. The Magnus maybe, but he has to run away right now. And Self has no mana, so this is going to be a tower kill in the bot lane. I'm pretty sure. Nobody's really able to defend that. But this was happening for like the last like 30 to 45 seconds. He was just pushing the tower freely.
Let's get it on.
Which is a little interesting to me because Kraken's definitely a hero, especially with the levels that he has. Okay, as I say this, he is going to actually TP out. Okay, they get the tower kill though.
Yeah, the tower's going to go mid.
And he's going to try to deny this tower mid. It's a good reaction from Silent, but I was going to say, a hero that can be very active if and when needs be.
Okay, he gets it. I thought he mistimed it. It was close.
But now we expect him to perhaps start being a bit more active as South Forest gets killed in the jungle there. He's a little too deep. They go on a Kraken. Don't know about that, though. With support coming near, yeah, you got to be careful.
Ace did rally, so I think he didn't want to try to go. Oh, that's a big compel. Couldn't get the slam off, though. Good silence from the Monarch.
He's got the haste. He's taking advantage of it, certainly. Toying with him, really. So he'll be fine, too. But yeah, that would have been big. He
Monarch wasn't there. Ooh. That was gonna be spicy.
All right, but
Kraken's
big
got
item
PK now.
pickups. Yep. Kraken's got the PK. I think Lightbrand just finished on Alonia, so Jonas is a recovery, and that's good to see for the side of New Generation. But exactly, the PK on Kraken, he smokes up. This is the timing now where you got to make a Kraken play.
Yeah, and he could I think he can solo the puppet right now. So being level 12 with a PK, he's choosing to go top. Maybe he wants to try to kill the rally, but he'll need team support to do that. They're already porting up here on the Shaman, and Switchblade's running over with really good farm so far. Cleaver and already building into Hungry Spirit. They're actually going to fall back, though. And Kraken ends up showing himself on the creep wave. They should have spotted that, I believe.
Yeah, probably. I mean, either way, they're playing way too defensive. Yeah, Demented Shaman, I think, went just a little too early right there and caused them to...
I really would have liked Kraken to have gone bottom with the Veil drop. Mostly because I think he could have solo killed the puppet, whereas the heroes he wanted to go for top were, I think, where he needed an extra hero to help him. And now the puppet has the finish route. It'll be a little bit more difficult to catch him if he's able to be slippery there with the invis in time.
You want to make sure you're carrying some smoke now if you're the Hellborn side especially. Thanks to that Shroud pickup. But top tower goes down in favor of a New Generation. And I guess I didn't realize it until I'm looking at it right here, but man, 5,400 gold lead for them. That's actually a pretty comfortable lead at this point in the game. I did just see a blink picked up on Rally, though. So, again, Fallen One really doing his best to...
They might try to go here, but Magnus will need to run in first. I actually don't know if they have they're going to need both ultimates to kill this Kraken.
Oh,
very good PK from the Kraken. Now the TP support can come in.
Yeah, it's not worth committing the Seismic Slam. And Lords of Force going to use his ultimate and comes the Clinic Shock, though, and South Forest, he's in trouble. He's just dead, frozen in the midst of the fight. Nowhere to go but to the grave. Rally, he'll just go left and he'll be fine.
Kraken, even with the Undying on him, chasing forward. Oh, he blinks the wrong direction. Unfortunate. Didn't know where the engineer went. They might see him now, actually.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Oh, Shaman's going to catch him from the flank. So yeah,
Shaman's just going to easily cut him off. Yeah, Rally didn't have his blink delivered yet, and I think that was critical of what happened right there, too. It was being flown out to him, so he still didn't have it as they went to engage there. But, yeah, either way, that was a disaster of an initiation. I mean, just like that's another 2,000 gold favor for New Generation. Swiftblade, he's taking some of the Legion jungle now. He's got another Parasite to go with the Rune Claver, so Ball Sauce is... The
problem with that initiation, aside from how they executed it, was I think the idea itself wasn't ultimately good anyway, because at that point, if you're overextending into the tower and you need to commit all your spells and you still can't kill him that fast, you always have to keep in mind that the team support of Kraken can port in, and you're risking losing 2 players for only 1. So either way, I think it was a very risky play to go for.
Not much action brewing just yet. Kraken, he is smoked up though with the blink. Blink just purchased by Alonia too, so the catch continues on the Hellborn side. They are going to go for Kongor. Double damage active on Swiftblade makes it a lot easier of a choice, and Kraken's just going to be the offensive lineman, just sitting in front and making sure that no one's going to come to try to stop.
I'm not sure I like the blink pickup. Not that the item is bad,
Alonia!
But yeah, he's got cape on him. Shaman was like,
Monarch?
Gets his heal off. He's fine.
Swiftblade's running in at double damage, still on him, I believe. On the side's bouncing around. They shred Rally to pieces, and they catch South Forest in the back as well. Uh-oh, he's going to be pulled in. Release the Kraken. Savage sick. 4 Ball Sauce now on the Swiftblade. So not only do they get Kongor, but they get a couple of big hero kills. Yeah, hard to communicate. They just got in there way too late. And they're also going to lose NG. It's a disaster. Oh, nice spin. The mine's unsuccessful.
Able to tank those, luckily. Yeah, so back to the portal key pickup from Alonia. it's not so much that the item is bad. I don't think he needed to go portal key right now. I would have much rather seen him just finish a Grimoire. And I think he could have even like. So I would prefer the Grimoire, and then I think he could even have gone like post saves because it's only 1300 gold to upgrade the Striders, and then he can just be like wherever the Kraken wants to go in and initiate and assist from far away. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't really think they needed this portal key. Actually, I think they're fine with him being a bit more greedy and playing for his own game. He's only 900 HP as well. Like, I feel like at this point, if he still gets caught by any spells, he more or less dies unless the team support is like really quick to react. So, not a bad pickup, but not what I would have liked personally.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I 100% see what you're saying. In a game like this, with the status of the game, is certainly the Grimoire perhaps would have made been a bit more valuable. But either way, he's got the blink and so a little more catch with the team as well. But you got hard
Engineer placing mines in the trees here. They're actually not going to run into them though. They actually find the puppet. That's huge.
Oh no!
Oh no!
He bounced back though.
Oh.
I mean, they're going to lose Rally and NG still, so they still get some big kills. But the Rally's saving Puppet Master essentially.
One more bounce was all they needed. He's like 130 life or something.
But I don't know if that's really worth it at the same time, really.
My jaw dropped, Ricky. You can't see it, but I was... When that Swiftblade ulti bounced over to Rally, I couldn't believe it.
I mean, either way, big picture, it just continues to be more and more of a lead growing for a new generation now, trying to even up this series at one apiece after that pre-20-minute victory for
gotta be
HTC.
Careful here. He's going down here to farm. Might have to tablet the TP.
Yeah, we're at that point of the game now where if you're HTC, you got to be a little extra greedy sometimes. This is part of that. Self-Forest trying to farm where he can, but it's not going to matter. He's just dead, despite his combo on Alonia.
Self-Forest game from game number 1. It's really good to see that Hellborn made adjustments and they addressed making sure that the Self-Forest didn't have that same caliber of game as he did in the first meeting, because that was like really hard for them to deal with. The Swiftblade has a Nullstone now.
Sure does.
Honestly, it's not that bad because, like, the thing that really can screw him over this game is getting caught by a Puppet Master Puppet Show. As long as he gets spin off, I think he's good to go.
Yeah, it's not like he's lacking damage. That's very evident throughout this game. He's got plenty of it, so he's got 2 defensive supports around him. The Lincolns also allows him to extra help get that jump.
Hey, what now?
What's up?
You say Lincolns?
Did I say Lincolns?
You did.
I did say Lincolns. What's a Lincolns?
Yeah, hey, what's that item?
We've been saying Shrunken at this whole time. Come on.
Okay, fine. I'll let this one slide.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. God, don't put me by the mistake, guys. I swear. Fuck that game, right? I mean, HoN's the best.
1-1. We're tied up, so it's back.